current textbook actually increasing your workload when you teach electronic communication and social media? This presentation will help you decide. Hi, I'm Bovee. We all know that today's instructors are often facing larger class sizes, heavier advising loads, and the need to prepare students for the ever-changing workplace. However, most business communication textbooks have not kept up with the times, which means instructors need to step in and do extra prep work for their classes. In this presentation, I'll show you how you can spend less time preparing for class and more time helping students. I'm going to focus specifically on tips and techniques, time-saving shortcuts, and ways to be more effective in teaching electronic communication and social media. Topics of utmost importance, of course, for business communication and business writing instructors today. In this presentation, you'll learn the answers to these questions. What types of social media and electronic communication should be taught in a business communication course today? What should instructors be teaching about social media and electronic communication? And what are the best ways to teach social media and electronic communication effectively? Your students can succeed with written communication and social media by using one of 9 compositional modes when they write: conversations, comments and critiques, orientations, summaries, reference materials, narratives, teasers, status updates and announcements, and tutorials. Students need more than just brief descriptions of social media tools. They need detailed illustrations with annotations so that they feel a familiarity and a connection to the tools they'll be using on the job. All of the examples I'm going to show you are from Bovee Thill texts. An example of a social networking site is Biznik. It has a number of photos of people, attention-getting headings, and brief descriptive statements. This is an example of interactive web content. Keep in mind that businesses don't invest time and money in social networking simply to gain fans, of course. The ultimate goal is profitable, sustainable relationships with customers, and attracting new customers is one of the primary reasons businesses use networks and other social media. Active learning is important, and correlating with the textual material and illustrations should be exercises and cases. In this instance, the student is asked to write brief statements including an introduction, to give a short description of educational background, and to list the types of connections he or she would like to make on a social network. This example of a blog provides annotations on each side of the blog page that explains to students the typical elements and structure of a business blog. The caption for this figure showing a blog explains how blogs sometimes replace the traditional news release, so a company can control and distribute such messages themselves. The strategically placed annotations provide advice for how to write blog posts. As the caption explains, with the addition of video, blogging becomes a true multimedia experience that gives bloggers an easy way to share insights and sounds with their audiences. Moblogs are blogs adapted for display on mobile devices, such as phones. Students should be provided with a wide variety of opportunities to write blog posts through both cases and exercises. Here are just 2 examples. The caption for this figure showing a business instant message gives sound advice to readers about not using an informal style that students might use for family and friends. The annotations analyze the elements of the instant messaging window as well as the content. And here's an exercise that is an exchange by way of instant messaging in which the student is asked to explain how the customer service agent could have handled the situation more effectively. And here's an instant messaging case that asks students to rewrite an instant message in a more businesslike style and tone. In this case, students are asked to compose a message, which must be 160 characters or less, since it's a text message, to colleagues at a trade show. Students can learn from this example of the Public Relations Wiki, the features typically used to create and edit wiki pages. But just showing a web page of a wiki is not nearly enough. Students should experience using a wiki. That's why we offer on our website a wiki simulator to give students hands-on experience using a real live wiki editor. We suggest you should show the podcasting process, but then go a step further by having your students listen to podcasts on our books' websites so they can analyze and critique them for more in-depth learning of the podcasting process. We encourage instructors to assign students podcasting cases. In this example, students are asked to revise the introduction of a podcast script, based on what they've learned in the electronic communication chapter that includes a section on podcasting. Twitter is the most popular microblogging tool, but there are a number of others, including microblogging tools specifically for business enterprises. Teach microblogging skills with cases, such as this example in which students are asked to write an update to JetBlue's Twitter fans about fare auctions on eBay. Students can expect to participate in many online meetings during their careers. Web-based meeting systems offer powerful tools for communication, and students need to be proficient at using these tools to be effective during an online meeting. Students should know that many companies are now using Second Life as a virtual meeting place. This is an example of Cranial Tap, whose online headquarters is shown here. Teach students that videoconferencing provides many of the same benefits as in-person meetings at a fraction of the cost. Advanced systems feature telepresence, in which the video images are life-sized and extremely realistic. Today, it's common practice for students to prepare e-portfolios to tell potential employers about their qualifications and their skills. The cases you have your students complete should also be useful as portfolio builders, as with this email case, which is a potential example for a student's portfolio. Students should be taught that shared workspaces, such as this example from Microsoft's Office Live Workspace system, will give virtual teams instant access to the documents, calendars, and other files and information needed for successful collaboration. Community Q&A sites include dedicated customer support communities, such as those hosted on GetSatisfaction, public sites such as Yahoo Answers, and member-only sites such as LinkedIn Answers. Aggregators, sometimes called newsreaders, automatically collect information that can be automatically published as blog posts. Businesses are also now sending some messages to both internal and external audiences by way of RSS news feeds instead of email. Audiences get involved in the communication process when they find and recommend online content through tagging and bookmarking sites such as Dig and Delicious. Internets and blogs are now commonly used to distribute meeting minutes. All examples and illustrations of social media and electronic tools, as well as the exercises and cases shown in this presentation, were taken directly from Bovee Thill's business communication textbooks. And unlike other texts in the market that are still stuck in the 1990s with their overemphasis on paper-based documents, these 3 books integrate social media and electronic communication throughout the text. For a rich array of resources for teaching social media and electronic communication, go to Business Communication Headline News. Look under Categories in the left-hand column and select the topics in which you're interested. For teaching tips and techniques, often about social media and electronic communication, go to Bovee Thill's blog. Also, go to this site if you'd like examination copies of any of Bovee Thill's texts, or call Pearson Education toll-free 800-526-0485. Also, by going to the web address shown here, look under Bonus Materials. You'll see a link titled Social Media and Electronic Communication Classroom Edition. This is a PowerPoint presentation you can use in the classroom for teaching your students about social media and electronic communication. While there, you'll also see a link Teaching Social Media and Electronic Communication. I suggest you download both sets of PowerPoints. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me using the Contact Us form on the website shown here.